Good morning. So allow me to instigate certain thoughts so that you can nurture it and get more into this idea of relationships. So first let's see, that's me there. First let's see how relationship happens in our life. So first we get birth, and then we have parents, then we get introduced to relatives, then friends, siblings, the sequence can vary. Then we go to teacher, then we have some colleagues, then we get a spouse in our life, then the kids come, and society is all pervasive. But just for the sake of simplicity, I'm putting the society here, and there's a purpose I will let you know. So this is a sequence. So there has to be logic in this sequence, no? How come that this sequence is there, and there has to be a purpose it should be solving. So let's see how that purpose could be. So since we already discussed that there's a spectrum which starts from getting sort of objectifying other person in the relationship to meet certain needs which you feel that you don't have, something which you lack, so you want to get over the other person. That is called sadistic orientation. I'm referring to the previous video. And there's another destructive orientation where we have an unlived life, and with that frustration we want to destroy others. So these are two very extreme orientation one can have in a relationship. And then there's something called peaceful state where we feel totally at ease. Just to give analogy, we all have a sort of body posture which is most comfortable to us. And the moment we move that body posture, and then we feel the urge to come back to that body posture. Like sometimes some people just want to have their hand in certain way kept on a table, and that doesn't take them any effort. But the moment you change that posture, they feel the urge and pain, and then they want to become at equilibrium state. Similarly, at our level of mind, there's an equilibrium state which is a sort of somewhere in the middle of these two destructive personality, and that I'm calling a peaceful state, because in that stage you feel most peaceful. So what happened, because of our application of mind, we see the outer world, and we started believing that I need to achieve something, or I need to get something from some other person, and all that sort of orientation. We move toward beyond, we get to a disturbed state which is not the equilibrium state. So let's say this is a stage here where I am here. So if I want to go back to this stage, then I need a sort of suggestion, guidance, feedback, companionship to come to this stage. And that is what, according to me, is purpose of a relationship. Just because we are not at a peaceful stage, and we have already an entropy in our mind, and we are finding it difficult to get to the peaceful stage, the nature has or the system of this cosmos has provided us with all these relationships in different names. And according to me, if we appreciate the purpose of our relationship is to help us come to the peaceful state, I think with that lens we can understand the purpose in a more detail. So how can somebody bring me from this point to this point? There are different possibilities. Either somebody can accompany me on the way, so I don't feel that I have to travel this journey alone. Somebody can pull me from opposite end by exerting a huge force of attraction toward that person, so they can bring me to the peaceful stage. Or they can, or there are some people who will just act like a hope for us to bring to this stage. And there are some people who introduce us to all this framework, and there are some people who give us, let's say, some energy or some sort of guiding tools, vehicle to get to this stage. So now you can see how we can come from this place to this place. So there are different possibilities, and that is exactly how different relationships serve the purpose. Now the problem here is, it might look like a very simple phenomena that I am in a disequilibrium state, so I need to come into the equilibrium state. But this is this is in the context of only one relationship, but life is not that simple. We are living in this sort of 6-dimensional stuff. So a part of us is here with our wife, a part of us is here with our colleagues, a part of us is here with our kids, and we are changing ourselves in different relationships according to what we feel we should be doing in that relationship. But there might be a better way. I mean, there might be a center point where we can just be at ease and all this relationship keep evolving around us and we can just live a happy life. So let's say that we need to, a different part of us are in different place, and that is why exactly we feel tension, we feel conflict, we feel stretched, and we feel restless. So what is the way to come to the center? I mean, so with everybody we have a similar kind of behavior, and we are always at peace. People come and go, they keep revolving around us, but we are always at center and interacting with them in a most efficient, frictionless manner. So that's a different topic altogether. But for now, if we can just appreciate that different relationships exert different kind of pressure, pull, push, companionship, giving us guidance to bring us to the center point of peaceful, non-frictionless state, I think we will be able to do our task. So this is my proposition. My proposition is we come to this earth and we first meet our parents, and the idea to meet a parent is to understand this whole idea of the pathway. So we need to quiz our parents and get more inquisitive with them so that we understand the pathway in a most effective manner. Since our parents are not supposed to be complete in their self, that is why we got relatives, and relatives complement the learning and they give us a different viewpoints. So if our parents are also in a disequilibrium state, we get a more data point to understand where the equilibrium state could be positioned, and how, and also to ascertain our own state in this pathway. And the third is then we meet friends, and the idea of meeting friends at a different state of life is to become passenger, a co-passenger with them. And idea of co-passengership is we apply all the tricks we are learning from parents and relatives and apply with them and see how the feedback system works, and use that feedback to attract better set of friends and companions in our life. And the teacher is essentially a person who sort of give structure to the learning. So think of it like a formula. So if we know the formula, the whole process of solving the problem can be speeded up. So teachers are those people who give a concrete shape to our learning and give us a sort of binding formula using which we can actually move faster in toward the process of equilibrium. And idea of sibling is to observe them and see that if you lack something which your sibling has, then just have a faith that this is the only relationship which comes from a single person. I mean, there's no other relationship other than sibling which comes from the same place. So when we see our sibling with different capabilities or different weaknesses, we just have to compare ourselves and see, yes, I can also have that strength in me. I can also have that quality in me. At the same time, I can also get that weakness which my sibling possesses. So the idea of having sibling is to keep having that belief that anything is possible. You can either get some stupid quality, or you can actually get more potential, but this all exists, and this all exists inside you. So that is the idea of having siblings. With colleagues, since we are living in the world and we need to meet some of the social obligations, so colleagues are essentially to work together to meet our social need, and they are actually not they're not guiding us on this pathway. They are actually just giving us necessary instrument support or the kind of fuel to move over this pathway. So these are the people with whom you can be very joyous, just live in the moment, enjoy every single second of interaction with them, and just because you know that they are on their journey, you are on your journey, you just happen to be working together to meet some of the social needs, physical needs, and that's it. That's nothing more to it. and then you have a wife or the spouse. So the idea of a spouse is actually, again, it can be a different combination. You can have a spouse on this side of the equilibrium, and both of you need to go there. In that case, you both work together with society, and in a very sort of mutual, in a very sort of, I would say, in a very harmonious way, because both of you are in a same state of disequilibrium, and you together, both of you look like a perfect couple, and working together to come to the state of equilibrium. And if that is the case, be happy. I mean, and in that case, what you both are accepting, that you both are incomplete, and you both are looking for that source of more information from outside the world. It's a good state to be in. But I would also suggest that another state is when both of you are at a different side of equilibrium. I mean, one person is moving toward this orientation, another person is moving toward this orientation. In this case, this whole idea of a spouse is that since you are attracted to each other as well, and if that attraction is more, that feeling of respect is more, that both of you can actually exert opposite pressure to come to the peaceful state, and you don't need anybody else. I mean, you don't even need to look for any other source of information, because you both can exert pressure of love, respect, and come at a state of equilibrium. So both of you respect your individual orientation, which is in opposite direction. So if I have a desire to live alone, and I have a more individualistic attitude, and my wife has a desire of companionship, I shouldn't think of it like a difficult scenario to be in, because it's the best scenario. Because in this relationship provide fuel to maintain all other relationships, because you both are a companion on, and you both want to grow together. So this is the source of fuel to bring all other disequilibrium state at a state of equilibrium. So that is the purpose of wife, and then, or the spouse. And then once we understand the true nature of life, then we actually appreciate that the whole idea is to shed our entropy, to reduce our entropy and the state of disequilibrium, and come to the state of equilibrium. And that entropy can be reduced, that disequilibrium state can be reduced only by losing some energy. And the best way to lose energy is to serve society. And I have covered this topic in my topic of love and luck, so we can refer to that video. But to lose energy is the best way is to serve society, and that is exactly why we have a society around us. Every single second, if we can serve the person with whom we are interacting, I think that is the best way, fastest way to get into the state of equilibrium. And that is why society is there. And this topic of in-laws, and just because your in-laws has given you your partner, the only emotion, the predominant emotion I would suggest you for your in-laws is respect. Just respect them, because they have given you the only instrument which can give you sort of energy, fuel to get all other relationship in a sort of state of equilibrium. And the kids comes in our life as a reminder that yes, that equilibrium state does exist. The kind of innocence, happiness, the curiosity you see in a kid is a reminder that yes, that state is possible, and you start learning that more about that state from your kids. So that is why I say that kids are there to teach us. We are not supposed to teach kids about what they should do unless they ask us, because they know what they need. So wait before you teach your kids all the stupidity of the world. Let them ask you questions, and then you answer them according to the orientation, according to the orientation you see in them. So if you feel your kids are moving toward destructiveness, individuality, you give them guidance which takes them toward the peaceful state. So the primary purpose with kids is to learn from them and to guide them according to the orientation you believe they are in. So with this idea, I think I will request you to nurture different kind of topics we have covered, why these relationships exist. This is a continuous struggle we feel on ourselves between the two orientation of individuality and to the complete relatedness. We all want to be individual, we all want to be complete in ourselves. At the same time, we believe that we actually have a need to work with others. So it's a eternal dilemma. So, and that is what we are suffering in all the relationship, and that is why these relationships come to us to guide us through the process. So friends, look forward to your suggestion and thoughts on this. Thank you very much.